Hello, and welcome to iRespond training. In this training video, we will demonstrate how to set up and run an instructor-paced session. To begin, open iRespond and enter your username and password. Once into iRespond, follow these steps to begin an instructor-paced session. On the top left, under Session Type, select Instructor Paced. Under Classes, select your class which will be taking this test. Under Test Banks, select the test that you are wishing to administer. And under Remote Devices, select your remote device list. Click Start. Power on your iRespond base and click Next. At this point, have your students begin powering on and logging into their remotes. Once the remote is powered on, type in their individual PIN number and press Send. Once your students have logged in, you will see their I next to their name has turned green, meaning they are logged in and waiting for you. If you have a second screen or a projector set up in your classroom, it is best to use the Content Viewer button, which will show the students only the question and the responses. It will not show individual scores or the correct answer. In this training video, I will use the Content Viewer screen as the second screen to show my students what the question is. And on my teacher's dashboard, I will still see live feedback, individual scores, and also individual answers. Let's begin a test. On the Content Viewer or on your test banks, click the lightning bolt with the blue arrow, Send Question, and the question appears on the Content Viewer. On your students' remotes, you will see now that the remote is on question 1 of 1. And on your teacher's dashboard, you will see the question 1 has been sent, and there are 4 students that have not answered the question. As your students begin answering the question by typing their answer on the keypad and pressing Send, you will again get live feedback from each student, instant scores, as well as a graph on the Content Viewer showing which answers have been given by the students. This graph appears after 100% of the class has answered, and this graph only shows numbers. This will not show individual students, their answers, or scores. In this example, we see that B was the correct answer, which was answered by 2 students, and A and C incorrectly were answered by 1 student each. Back on your iRespond teacher's dashboard, you see instant scores. Bud so far has a 100%, as well as question level scores. Lynn and Bud were the ones that answered correctly B in this previous question. Also, on your students' remotes, we will notice instant feedback for the students as well. On their remotes, you will see a check mark and an X, followed by the percent of the class that has answered each way. In this example, we will see that Lynn answered correctly, and on her remote, you will see the check mark with 50% and an asterisk showing that is how she answered, as well as an X and 50% for the 50% of the students that answered incorrectly. Let's go to the next question. Using the Send Question button, send the question. You will see on your students' remotes, they are on question 2 of 2 now. And as your students begin answering, you will see instant feedback given. In this example, we see that one person answered correctly A, two people incorrectly answered B, and one person incorrectly answered C. And just like before, on your teacher's dashboard, you see that Lynn answered correctly. Let's send the last question. This question we can see is a fill-in question, shown by the blank spot here within the question. For your students to answer this question, they must enter a numeric response. Once the students have completed answering the question, we again see that 3 people answered correctly, 1 person answered incorrectly. We see here that Lynn, Bud, and Linda answered correctly. And on the left side, under the Users panel, you see that Lynn, through 3 questions, has a 100%, Linda has a 33, Cal has a 0, and Bud has a 67. Now that your testing has completed, you are able to select all students using the Select All button and run a report, or you are also able to select individual students and run a report. Now, we are going to exit the session using File and Exit, where we are prompted by a few questions. Do you really want to exit? Yes, we do. Do you want to save this session to a log? What this allows is for you to save this session as it is for review or use later. In this example, we will save this session to a log. Start another session, keeping the current users online. This will keep your students' remotes and your base unit powered on and logged in, and it will return you to a session setup that will allow you to simply choose a new test. In this example, we will click No. Your students' remotes and their base unit will power off, where you are prompted by another question, do you want to start a new session? Click Yes. You will now save your session log and click OK, where you are returned back to iRespond session setup. That is the end of this iRespond instructor-paced training video. To continue your training videos, please see our subsequent videos. Thank you.